Hey there, it's JFO. Welcome. If you're new to me, I'm an intuitive personality coach who helps spiritual entrepreneurs with big dreams. I help you break your painful patterns, I help you learn your cosmic personality, and I help you rise to your high vibe destiny so you can fall in love with your dream life. So let's get started. Today's video is my first video of 2021. So excited. And I was supposed to drop this on the first of the year, but it took me a little bit of time to get all of my data for the video. So that's okay. I'm dropping it on the first Monday, which is cool. Okay. Now you're going to want to check out my January video. That gives you kind of an overarching view of this month, but this video is going to be an overarching view of the entire year. And it's amazing. It took me a lot of time to just gather everything up, but you guys are going to be in for a wild, wild year. Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to look at my data here to get started with the first thing that I wrote down. And basically what I'm talking about with data, what is this data? Well, I use this book. You can get, there's so many different books out there, but I use this. I also use a couple different websites. And then what I do is I put all of that information inside Trello, which is really fun. I even put my own chart in there. So I'll take the transits of the year and start to I do it daily to kind of see where it's going to be in my personal chart, because the transit information is really fun, the collective transit information, but where the real juicy stuff is learning how to read your own astrology and knowing how the specific transits are going to be affecting you. Okay, so if you want to know more about your chart, I have right now, it's actually going to go up. So definitely sign up for it in the next week or so, because the price is going to go up. But basically for $99, I read your entire birth chart, and you can ask me questions in email before, you can ask me questions in email after. And so you can really customize the whole audio session that I send you. Because if if you're like, I just really want to know, what's going to be happening in February, what's going to be happening, in March, that type of thing. We can talk about that. We can also talk about an issue you're going through. So let me know if you want to do that. Just purchase below or email me. The information's below. Okay. So what I do is I put everything in Trello, and then what I did for the 2021 information is I kind of combed through everything. It took me a while, and I had to get the overarching themes, because this video is not going to serve you if I just spew out dates to you. That's a very, very boring video. I really want to give you the core understanding of what we're about to experience collectively for 2021. Okay, so let's get started with the first thing that's very important. So if you've been watching me for a while, you know that I've been talking about the destiny line, the collective destiny line. And this is so key, because the biggest part of the work that I do, the reason why I can really get into your painful patterns and really help you understand where you're stuck, especially when you're trying to do law of attraction work and you feel really stuck, that you're kind of like yo-yo manifesting, right? Like you manifest something really good, and then you... I'm laughing because this is what I do. You manifest something really good, but you also manifest all your shit that you still need to work on. And it's like a mirror, right? Now, that's great. Like, that's contrast versus desire. But until you can really understand your personality and understand your patterns, you can't really break through that, right? So I always talk about the destiny line. We have the side of us that is our comfort zone and the side of us that is our destiny, right? But we experience this theme collectively as well, right? Every year we have a certain destiny that we're collectively learning, and everyone's going to experience it differently. And the reason is because for some, it is going to fall on your destiny chart, or your destiny side of your chart. And for some, it's going to be trigger up the comfort zone side of the chart, depending on what your chart looks like, right? So collectively right now, we're all learning Gemini. And our comfort zone is Sagittarius. And these are the masculine perception signs of the zodiac. And so it's all about this aggressive kind of like, what do I want to believe? What do I want to think? What's the truth versus spin? Because Gemini is spinning something to present it well. That's the marketer of the zodiac, the editor of the zodiac, right? The communicator of the zodiac. And Sagittarius is the storyteller, the philosopher, the traveler, the philosophical energy, right? And so Sagittarius wants to not present something. They want to just kind of like no filter, tell it like it is, truth seeker. Okay. So we are really feeling this like journalism versus the story energy, and also very, very messy communication. Like right now, there's a lot of messy communication. You're probably feeling that. You're probably feeling that with your friends and family, right? You just feel like there's this weird perception thing going on. Okay. So we had this May of last year is when the destiny went into Gemini. And we have that same destiny all year. Now, what's really cool is when you look at I'm not going to give you every moon cycle in this video because that would just be boring. And I will be doing monthly videos, so don't you worry. But what I found, the key thread of the moon cycles this year is our eclipses, our eclipse seasons are all happening in the Gemini Sagittarius energy. And so that really kind of amplifies that destiny line even more. So in the summer, we're going to have, let me actually like open it up here. So let's see. So in the summer, I think it's June. So June, we're going to have our new moon in Gemini, and solar eclipse, and we're going to have our lunar eclipse actually before that in May in Sagittarius. Okay. So that's when Sagittarius is the moon and Gemini is the sun, but we're going to flip that energy with the eclipse energy at the end of the year. So let's see there. So November 19th is the lunar eclipse that's actually in Taurus, which is really interesting. And I'll tell you why that's interesting in a second. But the solar eclipse in December on the 4th, December 4th, is going to be in Sagittarius, which is our comfort zone. So actually, in a weird way, there's like this wink to money. There's this wink to money there because there's another thing going on with a bunch of other planets that's a money theme that we're going to get to. So that's the first thing I want you guys to know is there's this collective experience of communication of the mind, because Gemini rules the mind, survival, mental survival, like mental thoughts for survival means, but also the story, telling the story and finding the truth. That is the big energy of this year. And so I would definitely use the word disclosure to explain 2021. There's going to be a lot of truth coming up to the surface. Okay. So the next theme I want to talk about is this Venus money. There is so much energy around Venus and money and abundance. And it's the most exciting thing that I want to share with you. Now, obviously, we're all going to experience it in a different way, right? Because all of us have Taurus in our chart in a different place. Taurus means something different for all of us, okay? But Venus is ruled by Libra and Taurus, okay? So Venus is the planet of love and beauty and abundance and money as well. And Taurus, the sign of Taurus, is all about money. Okay, so Taurus, Venus, and if you're going to go into the whole chart, the second house is all the money themes of astrology. Okay, so now let's dive into what's going on with that. So not only are we going to have this strong Venus energy that's going to go full steam ahead, and what I mean by that is we're not going to have a retrograde at all for Venus until the end of the year. So December, it will retrograde in Capricorn. But until December, we are full steam ahead with Venus. There is no retrograding. And so that's like a really, really big thing just wait till I tell you the rest. Now we start off with Venus in Sagittarius. So we're kicking off again that energy of the truth seeker, that energy of the, storyteller, philosopher energy. Okay. So, and by the way, I just want to say that Venus does go into Taurus like it usually does around April. So that's going to be kind of like a big energy when it does go into Taurus because of the other Taurus themes. So the other Taurus themes that are happening is, okay, so let's see. So I wrote down big money energy. And the reason why I wrote that down is because Mars, which is our action planet, it's our adrenaline planet, it's our aggressive planet, okay? It's going forward. Well, not forward. It's already been forward. It went retrograde in September and it went direct. Let's see. So last September of 2020, and it went direct in November 13th. So it has been moving forward. But here's the interesting thing about Mars. Mars was in Aries from June of last year all the way until this month, of 2021, of January 2021. It's been in Aries the whole time, okay? So this year, it's not going to do that. It's not going to stay in this one sign. It's moving full steam ahead this year. But why it was so interesting that it stayed that long, not only in one sign, but it stayed in its home sign. So Mars is the Aries planet. So it was like more intense. And so the way I want to kind of describe that is it's very much war energy. And I think we felt that, right? In 2020, we really felt that war energy. But what's so cool about 2021 is it immediately leaves Aries and it's going to go into Taurus on January 6th, and it's going to soften because Taurus is that Venus energy. It's earth, grounded, stability, not war, okay? And it's going to stay in that Taurus energy until March 3rd. So we're really going to have this like kickoff of this money energy, okay? And then of course it'll move forward into other signs. But right now we have the planet Uranus, which is the Aquarius planet, and that's big because we have a lot of Aquarius themes that I'm going to be telling you about in a little bit. The Aquarius planet has been in Taurus. Now, when did it go into Taurus? Let's talk about that. So let me just go into, okay. So you know what? I didn't even look that up. Let me look that up right now. So Uranus in Taurus transit. We go in the moment here, guys. I'm not editing my videos anymore, so you get the raw video. Okay, so while I pull that up, so 2018 to 2026. Whoa. 2028. Okay, so that's a really long transit. So it started in 2018. So we've been kind of feeling this, right? This Taurus buildup, this money buildup, and it's just going to get stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger. Okay, now it's in Taurus. So let's talk about what Uranus is going to do. So it's direct in all year until August. So from August to January is when the money Aquarius planet money energy is going to go backwards for a little bit. But from January onward, it's in Taurus. So you got that Mars in Taurus till March 3rd. You've got the Uranus in Taurus going strong forward. You've got Venus not retrograding. I mean, as you start to see, there's this Venus-y energy of 2021. It's amazing, okay? So like I said, we leave that war energy of Aries. And what's really cool is Mars is not going to retrograde either. It's full steam ahead, guys. Mars will not retrograde again until October of 2022. That's huge. That's almost 2 years, okay? So we're really moving forward. Okay, so that was really like the forward motion Venus-y energy of 2021. The next thing I want to talk about is the kind of the war energy that we still have and the density that we still have. So as you guys know, a lot of you that are following me know about this 3D versus 5D concept, right? It's this 3D matrix of density. And because we are not, right? We are not our bodies, our souls can vibrate at higher dimensions. And there are other dimensions in this physical universe, so to speak, right? There's the non-physical, and then there's the physical universe of all these different dimensions. And that would be a whole nother video to dive into that. But basically, we are right now, Earth, and all of us, we are ascending. And it's not what I've learned from watching a bunch of my teachers that I love to follow, hold on, is that it's not our souls that are ascending. It's the matter, okay? It's Earth itself. We are ascending. Our bodies are ascending, okay? From this density energy into this higher vibration, okay? I don't know what's going on. Hold on. Guys, you get the raw. This is the Sagittarius, by the way, because I'm a Sagittarius. And this year is about no filter, guys. Don't worry about the filters. Just be you. Be true. Okay, so what was I saying? I was talking about war energy, okay? Shaking this. So the density. We are leaving the density. The metaphor of density to me with astrology is like when you think of the survival stage signs all the way up to the spiritual stage signs, right? Or when you think of like Pluto, to me is a very dense planet because it's all about dying and being reborn anew. And wherever it is, there's this wounded energy to it. Now, it can be beautiful. It can be transformational. Everything in astrology is neutral, right? It's the meaning we put to it. And I'm learning that as well. As I look through my 2021 transit for my personal chart, I'm like, ugh, and I want to judge everything. And I have to realize that like I get to choose what something means. Just because there's a theme of money doesn't mean it has to be negative, right? Big point there. Okay, you gotta really focus on the positives of the themes. But I will say that there's going to be a little bit more denser transits that are going to be maybe harder to push through because they are challenging us to grow and change. So that is Chiron, which is the wounded healer, and Pluto. And what they have in common is this kind of war energy that links up to what I was just talking about. So even though we're softening the Mars and we have all this Venus-y energy, we still have the wounded healer in Aries, okay? And we have that from 2018 all the way until 2027. So we still have this wounded, it's almost like a wounded soldier at war, you know? Maybe the war's over, but we've got to heal our wounds. That's what it feels like to me. It's like the war is done. Mars is leaving the war energy, this intense chaos of 2020, and we're moving forth, but we've got wounds, big wounds that we gotta heal. And because Aries is self, it's all in you. You got to do it yourself. The shadows that we are healing right now, it's a very personal journey, especially because we got that comfort zone in Sagittarius. What is Sagittarius? The freaking loner energy. Sagittarius, if you're like, JFO, why do I just want to go to a mountaintop and be a Buddha and not talk to anyone or achieve? Because right now we're in this comfort zone of Sagittarius, and it really is the loner Buddhist spiritual warrior teacher that just wants to be alone with, their energy. You get it. Okay. So this wounded healer energy of Chiron with Aries is really adding to this, and it's squaring and has been squaring all the Capricorn that we were dealing with. And we're going to talk about that in a second, but I just want to make sure I went through all my notes of that. Okay. Yeah. So that's the wounded healer, and it will retrograde July to December. That Aries of Chiron will retrograde from July to December this year. So just know that that'll be a really big time to go within and really truly heal the wounds. Okay. So the big wound in the room since freaking 2008, literally since January 2008, and it will finally leave January of 2024. So we've got 21, 22, 23. We've really got 3 more years of this, guys. Hold on. We've made it so far. 2008, we've got 3 more years of this wound. What is the wound? It's a system wound. Capricorn represents public image, public life, the public presentation. It represents career. It represents being useful out in the world in a spiritual way, right? That mission, that empire, climbing the corporate ladder. It represents systems and structures. Capricorn is always trying to create the organizational structure. It also represents futurism, future vision, right? Like these future themes, because Capricorn's all about the future plan, okay? But Capricorn at worst really is like a very corrupt energy, because it's all about how can I climb this ladder for my own public image, and achieve. And that achievement energy can be really, go into greed energy, right? So Pluto is death and transformation of that theme of Capricorn, right? And we've had this since 2008. We will have it until 2024, January 2024. But here's the kicker, and I say this in all of my videos. The last time it was in this positioning, because Pluto moves slow in the zodiac. The last time it was in this position, guys, I shit you not, and I've said this before, is November 1762 to December 1778. The American Revolution, the Declaration of Independence. This is the secondary American Revolution, so to speak, but it's global. It's the world, okay? So just know that you can look at the TV and you can think you know what's going on, or you can recognize that there's a bigger spiritual awakening happening. We are ending the old systems and we're going to rebuild the new systems. And we are on that cutting edge. Like I said, the war energy has kind of gone away and now there's this wounded healing thing going on, okay? So we still have that big wound of the systems and we have that Aries wounded healer squaring it, okay? So the big wound, Pluto in Capricorn, is going to go retrograde from April to October. And you're going to notice a lot of the things that are happening in 2021, a lot of these retrogrades are going to end in October. So October is a big month of forward motion. Now we do have a Mercury retrograde, which I'll get to in a second. But yeah, October is really kind of this theme I'm seeing of going forward. Okay, so that was the wounds. Get a drink. Let's move on to the next theme. Thank you for being here. Okay, so the next theme is Jupiter and Saturn, which is so exciting. Okay, so the way I see it is abundance left the density and moved into this passion energy, and it's going to also be in this dreamy energy. What do I mean by that? Jupiter. Jupiter is the planet of abundance. It's also the planet, the Sagittarius planet. Chiron is also ruled by Sagittarius. See all these other Sagittarius themes because that's our comfort zone right now, right? So it's big, big, big. Jupiter is big right now because our Sagittarius is our comfort zone, so it's going to be more enhanced. And Saturn is ruled by Capricorn. We'll get to that in a second. But let's really talk about what happened. So Jupiter and Saturn teamed up with teamed up with Pluto in Capricorn over these last couple of years, okay? And that's why 2020, we felt the density, so much density of this Pluto wound, okay? So here's what happened, basically. Let's go into, so Jupiter. So Jupiter was in Capricorn from December 2019 to December 2020. I mean, literally, Jupiter in Capricorn was pretty much this whole experience of the pandemic, right? And then Saturn was there longer. Saturn's been in Capricorn from 2017 to March of 2020. So end of 2017 to March of 2020, it had a little stint in Aquarius. Yeah, it had a little stint in Aquarius, but went back into Capricorn last year in July and stayed there until December. So both Jupiter and Saturn left Capricorn in December. I know we all know about that because that's the 21st, that big December 21st was like a big day in the spiritual worlds of like solar flares and light activations. Okay. But we started this Aquarius age, right? With this motion. And Pluto's going to follow. Remember, Pluto's going to follow in the beginning of 2024. So we really are slowly moving toward there. And there's all this Aquarius energy this year. So much Aquarius energy. So that's a little backstory of why it was in this denser energy. And it's now charging forward. And it's this abundance, okay? Now, Jupiter is going to go into Pisces when it goes retrograde. So let's see. So no, actually it's going to go into Pisces in May, which is going to add this dreamy quality to the Jupiter, this kind of heaven on earth dreamy energy. And it's going to go backwards from June to October and go back into Aquarius. So it's going to kind of play with those signs of Aquarius, Pisces. That's Jupiter, okay? We also right now have Neptune, which is ruled by ruled by Pisces. I can't freaking talk. So we've got Neptune, which is ruled by Pisces, in Pisces, and it's been there from 2012 till all the way till 2025. That Neptune in Pisces, that's how long it's going to be there. It's been there since 2012. We've had this Pisces Neptune, right? Which is rose-colored glasses, don't want to see the truth, but it's also rise into ascension out of the body, right? Because it's the last sign of the zodiac cycle. It wants to ascend the density energy. But at worst, it's not wanting to look at the truth or reality and wanting to just face this dream, right? So know which one you're trapped in, okay? So we have Neptune playing with that Jupiter when it goes into Pisces. So there's this dreamy quality to this Aquarius age that we're trying to birth, this new Earth experience, okay? Now, I think that's pretty much everything, but let's really just end this with let's see. Oh, Saturn. Okay. Saturn is also going to be steady, meaning it's not going to have a retrograde. Let's see. No, I don't think so. It's not going to have a retro. No, wait, I'm lying. I am totally lying. I'm lying. Guys, I might as well just do lives because that's basically what I feel like I'm doing right now. Okay. So I see what I meant. I meant to say that Saturn is steady in the Aquarius energy, meaning it's not going to be like, kind of like Jupiter is doing Aquarius and Pisces for the year. Saturn is going to be purely Aquarius, which is big, guys. It's big because it's been in Capricorn since 2017. It's finally risen to the Aquarius, and that is the Capricorn planet. Saturn is ruled by Capricorn. So this is huge that we have Saturn in Aquarius this year. It's really going to help push this beautiful energy with all that Venus, right? Like it's just really, really good. I'm feeling good about it. So that planet will go backwards May to October as well. So the last thing I want to talk about before we end this crazy all over the place video is our Mercury retrogrades. Are you ready? This is the big kicker. This is what you want to know, right? Okay. Last year in 2020, all three, we always have 3 Mercury retrogrades, okay? And they last about 8-ish weeks from the pre to the retro to the direct to the post shadow phase, because there's like all these phases to it. Okay. Last year, all 3 were in water signs. Okay. So it was very emotional. Sure, you can agree. Last year, 2020, was probably the most emotional year of our lives. Okay. Well, this year, all of the retrogrades are in air signs. We are softening the energy. It's not going to be as emotional, but it is going to be about our minds. Now, our destiny is Gemini, which is also air. So we are really learning this year how to rise above this impulsivity, because that's the Sagittarius comfort, right? Fire is just impulsive, right? And we're really learning how to think about things, how to critically think about things, how to take a step back, look at something, see both sides of it. Air is all about seeing both sides of it. Fire energy is all about my side, my side, my side, right? So air is all about, wait, there's 2 sides. Let me find both sides, okay? Now, this is fun. So I'll give you the dates for Mercury in a second, but we kick off the first one, January, February. I'll give you the dates in a second. With Aquarius, which is so cool because we have all of this Aquarius energy I just talked about, right? Like we have so much Aquarius energy. And what is that, guys? It's passion. It's pure passion. It's fixed energy. So it's air, mental thought that is passionate. So a passionate thought. And that passionate thought can be mentally obsessing over all of our fears, or it could be mentally obsessing over our dreams, right? Like Aquarius is mental obsession. It's like, I want to be so attached to the thought, right? And there's that stubborn energy as well, but it's about the community. It's about the group, right? That's Aquarius. So not only is it passion, right? But it's also, so it's passion, it's air. I'm trying to think if there's any other thing that I could say about that. Yeah, so that's that one. Oh, that's the other thing I want to say. It's spiritual stage. So it's big picture, passionate thought. In the summer, we're going to have small picture, adaptable thought, because it's going to be perception. Instead of passion, it's going to be perception. So instead of this big picture passion, it's going to be this smaller picture perception. That's in the summer when we do the Gemini. And that's the key one because that's going to align with our destiny in Gemini, which is like the star of the show. Okay. And then we end the year with a balancing, that's Libra, a balancing of power, right? Passion, perception, power. Okay. And it's social. So it's not big spiritual picture. It's not small survival. It's more middle of the road social. And it's all about that social peace, that social justice, and that social power. That social power, but it's the thought of it, right? Because this is all air signs. So it's all about our thinking brain. Now, given that our collective destiny and all of our eclipses are in that Sag Gemini perception energy, this really comes down to managing your mind. And so you best be knowing that I'm going to bring you so much content this year on how to manage our mind, because guys, this is the year of the mind. This is the year of our perception. This is the year of truth. This is the year of community coming together and finding the stability, finding the beauty, finding the truth, and rising above the density, slowly letting go of the old systems and embracing innovation, embracing something new, because that is what we are going toward. Now, the question remains, are you going to let the old wounds trigger you into, like there's these old wounds, right? This density. And if we get trapped in negativity and we get trapped in fear, our mind is going to spiral. Remember, it's all about the mind this year, right? And our perception is going to spiral. And then we're going to get dragged back down into that old energy, the 3D, right? So just know that like there's all of these planets right this year that are supporting us to ascend, that are supporting us to rise above all of it. But we have to be the gatekeepers of our mind. We have to be in charge, okay, of what we're thinking and feeling and perceiving and knowing. And we just need to, I think, surrender into the truth. Really, that's really what we need. We need to heal and surrender into who we are, our sovereign selves, and how we want to show up in the world in a way that's diplomatic, I would say, because air energy is all about diplomacy and fire energy is like, F you, it's my way or the highway. Okay, so let me know in the comments below. What do you want to know now? Now that you know the overarching 2021 information, what are some topics you want me to do videos on? Tell me your questions. And I am going to take a little hiatus to just get super dialed in on just kind of how I want to revamp my content and how I want to revamp my YouTube channel a little bit. And I will be back. I promise you, at the end of January, I'm going to be back, and I'm really going to be back where I can have more content every single week. So in an ideal world, I'm going to bring you 5 videos a week. We'll see. So until then, oh, and I'm also going to have some new offers that are super exciting. So stay tuned on that. But make sure, because I'm going to raise the price, make sure to get your $99 audio astrological destiny reading with me below. We can coach on something. It's a birth chart reading, but I can really add in any questions you have about your life right now and any transit information you want to know as well. Love you guys. I cannot wait to see what this year is going to be like. And I hope you have a beautiful 2021.